So recently I started a new business. It's called Water and Mold Professionals, Inc. And so I'd like to take you through the process of how that started and why. So I've known this fella for quite a while who is in the water and mold remediation business. And he doesn't really like what he does. Now, that's not 100% true, what I just said, because he does like the actual information that he can deliver to people. But what he doesn't like is believing that he has to do the whole job himself, which requires a lot of physical labor. And for some reason, he can't see past that. So I've been watching that for some time, as a matter of fact, probably a couple decades. And so he's there within my psyche, okay? And then I'm thinking, okay, and I've mentioned this to him a couple times. I said, hey, if you just did this and just hired people to do the rest, and that would work pretty well for you, I think. Or just create a YouTube channel or something. But nevertheless, that hasn't happened. So then this fella comes along. I buy a house. I buy and sell houses. So this fella comes along and says, hey, I can do all this stuff for you. I'll just bring in guys. I can do that. So I said, okay, interesting. So I hired him to do a whole bunch of stuff for me at this particular house. It's a hoarder house. There was a ton of stuff there. So he brought a ton of people over and knocked it out. So I said, oh, okay, this guy might be the solution for the other fella who needs labor. Okay, so this guy brings labor. The other fellow brings expertise in, water and mold restoration, which is a big business. And then, so I know another person who can do graphics and corporate identity and logos, that sort of thing. So as you can see, the pieces of this puzzle are kind of coming together for a business. And then I'm on Facebook and I see a post of a young fellow who said, I would like to get with an entrepreneur who can show me the ropes. I'm young, energetic. I have management skills and experience. I have resigned my position as manager. I'm doing these little odd job things until I find the right position. And I said, wow, that's interesting. You don't normally see that. And I said, this could be, the point person for these components coming together. Of course, I need to organize everything and bring this together in a cohesive way and make the sum of the parts greater than the individual parts themselves. And that's kind of what really business is all about. So I sent him a message and I said, hey, let's talk, let's see. I don't know if this is going to work for you because I have an idea of what I want to do here, and it's not a business yet. So we talk, and then he's looking at this and some other things, and he says, hey, I'm gonna go with you. I said, okay, great. So we start having meetings and we start putting this business together, and it is coming together nicely. And so what I wanted to do was point out that you start to see synchronicities coming in that will line up with whatever it is you're thinking. And so when you start thinking of things, they start showing up. And if you start getting clear and specific, so I said, okay, let's make a business. And so the components to the business start showing up. So now we've had 3 or 4 meetings, and each person has kind of stepped forward and put together with me asking for it, of course. I said, hey, we need a website. So we started out over here with a website, so it ended up over there. In other words, responsibilities. One person, I said, would you do this? That didn't really work out, so I switched it over to somebody else. And then he knocked it out. So, and then I asked one person to do the training, which is the person that can handle the guy with the experience. Okay. I said, hey, put together a training program because you're going to be doing it, but we need to be able to expand this business. It needs to be easily, expandable so that we can, and duplicatable so that we can move it forward. So he starts to put together a training program, and then he brings in the logo person because she has really specific experience in customer relations and what to do and what to say and what not to say. And so that all starts to come together very nicely, really, in a training program that's far beyond just the specifics and the science of mold and water and the mechanics of all that. Now we're starting to get the mechanics of that, but we're also getting customer service and how to approach a client and what to say and what to do when you walk into the house, and wardrobe and name tags and SMS and communicate. I mean, it's getting deep. So all of this is happening. And so what this video is about is really two things. One, it's about the serendipity. And two, so when we had our last meeting, it's about reciprocity. So I'm talking about these things and what we're going to do and what this is going to look like and how everybody's going to be compensated, because I haven't paid anybody anything yet. I've just said, this is what entrepreneurship is. It's doing the work up front. You don't have a job. You're creating a business. You're not creating a job. You're creating a business. And there's things you have to do up front to create this business. And you don't get paid for that, But, so what I did was, because we were getting pretty close to Christmas, I said, I gave everybody a Christmas card. I said, you might want to open that now. So everybody got $100, bill. They were not expecting that, but I wanted to do two things. I wanted to create some energetic financial pathways so that there's energy flow. It's not really about the money. It's about the energy going out and then reciprocity coming back. So they've done all this stuff. And while they're not expecting it yet, they are expecting it. We're doing it for something. We're doing it for the fun right now. But I also wanted to clear out any, why am I doing all this, questions that may come up in a non-entrepreneurial spirit's mind. And so that 100 was there to create and smooth out those energetic pathways, and then to create a pathway of reciprocity and saying, hey, wow, so this is really going to work. Yeah, it's going to work. So I know it's going to work. They may not. And so I was just creating that. And I call that building your belief bridges in the world of law of attraction. So that's what this video is about. And I'm going to send it out kind of to these, 4 people in particular, so they understand what's going on there above and beyond, the remuneration.